art is good for the soul. That's how the old saying goes. And some people believe that it can even heal. The University of Alabama Department of Theater and Dance is exploring that idea in their latest show. Russell Stevens is here from the department to tell us more. Russell, it's good to see you again, buddy.
Thank you, Danny. Good to see you, too.
So, it's called A New Brain.
A New Brain.
Now, immediately people can begin to draw their analogies to the Scarecrow who was in need of a brain, but that's not really what this is about, is it?
Not quite, not quite. My character, Gordon Schwinn, is sitting in an Italian restaurant and collapses into his plate of ziti. He develops what's referred to as an arteriovenous malformation. It's not a brain tumor, but it's an issue in your brain that can knock you out if you're not careful. And he goes into the hospital and he's surrounded by his boyfriend, his mother, his best friend, his doctor, 2 nurses, and this despotic frog that's a character from a children's TV show that he writes for, Mr. Bungie, and they all kind of swarm around him. It's kind of a little bit of All That Jazz, a little bit of Christmas Carol, a little bit of Follies, all kind of swirled into one very interesting show.
And you and I were chatting during the break, and this is a show that it's not a musical, and it's definitely not a play. It's a poparetta.
A poparetta. Right? That's what our director kind of jokingly referred to it as. But it's about a 90-minute show, and easily 99% of it is sung.
Wow, wow. So do you get worn out?
Yes, but it's not a oh my God, kill me please worn out. It's a very fulfilling worn out. We all leave. We come to rehearsal every night with something new, and we always leave with a different perspective on things, be it things that are happening in life or a new take on the show, what we're wanting to achieve with it. But it's been a very fulfilling process.
So, and what happens here as far as plot goes, and if I'm oversimplifying this, I apologize. There's a guy who plays a frog for a children's show, and your character is a contributor to that show. And he has this condition, which it's a fantastically complex name that I'm not even going to try to repeat. And he has a life-changing moment, and he begins to fear that he will not be able to complete all the work that he has to do.
Right at the beginning of the show, like after they whirl him into the hospital, he kind of has an outer body experience, I guess you could say, and he's saying all these songs that I haven't written yet, all these the rhymes that I haven't made, all the stories that I've delayed. I've got so many songs, and he's freaking out because he's in the hospital. He could very well end up dead at the end of the operation, but he has all of these songs welling up inside his brain that he has to get out on paper.
Now, is this a funny show? Is this a sad show? Is it a mix?
What I think is so interesting about this show is that it's this very weighty subject matter. You've got a guy in the hospital with his brain getting ready to explode on him, but there's so much comedy. I mean, obviously it's very poignant, very touching in different places too, but there's this big Fosse-style kind of doo-woppy number where they're talking about all these negative traits that he's just kind of adopted in his own little genetic laws. And he's talking about how, well, if your dad's fat, you're going to be fat too. If you're lazy, you're going to be lazy too. And it treats the subject matter very humorously, which makes, I mean, I think if anybody else had written it, it would be this weighty, overtly dramatic piece, but it's very comedic and very touching.
And very light and poppy.
Yes.
Yes. All right, great. Russell, we're out of time, buddy. Good seeing you again.
Thank you, Danny.
You can catch A New Brain October 29th through November 3rd at the Alan Bales Theater on the UA campus. For tickets and showtimes, call 205-348-3400. Learn more online at theater.ua.edu.